Hello everybody and welcome to DDNet After Dark, our Friday evening stream that we regularly do. I've got to apologise, I have been away for the last 2 weeks or so. I've had all kinds of things going on which has stopped me from doing my streams, but I'm back now. And I came back at just the right time because we have a new game that dropped out of nowhere this week. Nintendo had a little direct, one of its minis, and as part of that it announced No More Heroes was now available on the console, as well as No More Heroes 2, because obviously No More Heroes 3 is coming up soon enough, and they wanted to get people familiar again with the series. So this is really cool. I haven't played No More Heroes in a very long time, very long time. So this game is unfamiliar to me again today. But I am looking forward to it. I remember really enjoying it a lot. It was the game, I guess. I think it was my first Goichi Suda game and got me going with him. It's a bit of nuts, fun, but it's a little bit surreal. It's very comedy. It's good fun, and I'm hoping that the port to Switch is pretty good. I haven't played it at all yet. I just downloaded it just before I started this stream, so I have no idea if it's going to be good quality or not. Who knows, maybe it crashes while we're playing. I hope not, obviously. I hope we get a good quality stream going, but yeah, this is a game that I haven't actually played as yet since it downloaded. So we'll give people a moment or two to jump on and say hello if they want to come join us on this stream, and hopefully there are some Goichi Suda fans out there that are going to say hello as we go along tonight, and then we'll get going in a minute or two. Rightio, we might get going with this, and yeah, hopefully some other people jump on. It'd be good to chat with people as we play. So No More Heroes has 2 difficulty settings to start with, sweet and mild. Now that would be easy and normal mode. To be honest, I'm going to play on easy tonight because, like I said, I haven't played No More Heroes in a very long time, and I do remember finding it difficult enough that I would probably not make the progress that I want to on a stream in mild, so I'll play it on easy. But yeah, the mild difficulty level is a good one for people who do enjoy their action games. This is a very pacey action game from memory, so we'll go with sweet. And we're immediately introduced to Mr. Travis Touchdown, he being the hero of the No More Heroes series. Hero is probably not the right word for him, but he's an assassin, and the whole point of this game is to rise up through the ranks of the assassins by defeating other assassins. That's basically what you're here to do. It was originally a Wii title. Amazingly enough, it's quite mature in tone, and the Wii wasn't overly well known for having adult games on it. This one's not adult in terms of high levels of sex or anything like that, but it is certainly adult themed and quite mature. It's a very Goichi Suda game as well. It's got a heavy dose of the surreal, and it's a game that isn't really one that younger people would enjoy, I guess. It's not really for them, and that's okay. It is nice to have those games as well, but this is a very good game.
I know a lot of gamers out there don't have much patience. At least that's what Bishop, the dude at the video store, said.
The other thing that this release gives me hope for yet is we might see Lollipop Chainsaw come back at some point as well. I've been waiting for a Lollipop Chainsaw game to come, whether it's a remake of the PS3 original or a new one. I'd just love to get Lollipop Chainsaw back. That's my favourite Goichi Suda game. This one has a similar tone in a lot of ways. It's just not... It just lacks the cheerleader bit, which is a big part of why I enjoyed Lollipop Chainsaw so much. Okay, so looking at this, it looks like it's a fairly standard port of the Wii game, the Wii original. It's a little bit simple, I guess, on the Switch by now. You can see that it's not the graphics are a little bit low definition and stuff. It does the art direction. That's a very nice bikini there. It does the art direction very nicely, but in terms of the technical precision, it's quite limited. And hello, Diddy. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Goichi Suda. I actually haven't done a stream of a Goichi Suda game yet, so pretty pumped about this. I like the grindhouse tone of No More Heroes.
Could be dangerous. Could totally suck.
Yeah, I'm in an iron about doing the silver case at some point as a stream. I just don't know if it'll work as a stream because it is a visual novel, and on top of that, it's a very text-based one. It's one that's more suited to playing through at your own pace rather than following along as somebody else plays. Killer is Dead is excellent. I very much enjoyed Killer is Dead. It is a tour de France of pop culture references. I just have this distinct memory of there being so many pop culture references in Killer is Dead, which was great. Or the Dark Side of the Moon stuff that you have to go and deal with. And yeah, I really enjoyed Killer is Dead. That's another one I'd like to see come back in some form. It's still stuck on PlayStation 3. I like Lollipop Chainsaw. We haven't seen a new one since, or a remake or anything like that. Oh, really? I did not know that. I mean, I knew that Goichi Suda was the director of it, and he was writing the scenario, I believe. Like, he was involved with it, but I didn't realize that there was an actual novelist involved with the Silver Case as well. Alright, so right from the start, we just saw a bit of the hyper-violence, a little bit of the old hyper-violence there leading up to it, people splattering around all the place. Like I said, this is a grindhouse game in a lot of ways, and we're about to see one of the funnier mechanics that this game has going straight way. There's like this beam sword thing, which is lightsaber-like, but oh no, you have to shake the remote, or you did have to anyway with the Wii. I don't know if I'll have to do it with the Switch, but you had to shake the remote to power it up. And the motion that Travis makes as he recharges his sword is quite funny. Let's play through the tutorial.
Hey, he's over here.
And see how we go. So I'm playing with the Wii U, the Switch Pro controller rather than the Joy-Cons. I believe motion controls are built into the Joy-Cons if you prefer to play that way. It's totally a lightsaber. It is a lightsaber. And let's get some Dynasty Warriors on the guy. Okay, so once the enemy's life runs out, death blow mode. Move the right stick, so you've got to flick the stick in the direction, which allows you to slaughter the enemy. Like that. Lots of blood going everywhere. This is a very violent game. Okay, so I press the L button on the Pro controller, and right, I waggle the right stick to charge the lightsaber, the beam katana, whatever you want to call it, and I don't know why that dropped out on me. Okay, there we go. See, isn't that funny? That's very Goichi Suda. He likes to throw some juvenile humor into his games. It's more fun when you do it with the Wiimote because you actually have to do that motion as well, which is pretty funny. Alright, so lock on. In many ways this is quite a standard action game. Lock-ons and all this stuff. All of these things are... We just take these for granted now with video games, of course. Alright. Next up, we have Evade. Yeah, I really don't remember a lot of this stuff. A lot of waggling there. And I'm not playing this with any sound on because otherwise it catches in the microphone and then you get echoes and stuff, so I can't listen while I play these streams. But I do remember these characters all having quite loud death noises, so I hope you're getting that through the soundtrack as we play along, because that's pretty funny. So Divi, how are you been this week? What games you been playing? Anything interesting? Got anything on the weekend to play as well? That visual novel that you linked to me, or have you already played that one? The one on DL's site. Have you already played that, or is that something that you'll be playing this week? Alright. Ah, how did you find it? Enjoyable enough, I hope? Oh, got 2 in 1. That was pretty cool. How long is it in terms of like how many hours would you be taking to play that one? Because it was interesting. I'm very keen on checking it out, but I do have about 8 games that I have to catch up on because I've had the week from hell. Now I'm way behind on my reviews and stuff. So, yeah. Hopefully I can find the time to squeeze it in. Luckily I don't have any other visual novels on the go right now, so when I'm in the mood for one I can flick over to that one. That'll be cool. I did not read through any of that. Stunning enemies, apparently. Ah, kick. You can kick your enemy to stun him. Simple as that. Ah, there we go. 2 beat attacks. So you've got stun attacks as well. The control system is quite simple, but there is a lot of fluidity and it's quite tactical combat system. When we get up to some of the bosses later on, it actually can be quite challenging from memory anyway. I don't know, maybe I've got better at these action games in the years since, but yeah, it can be quite challenging. Oh, that's cool. I might buy it from Jest then. I do like to support Jest. Once you've stunned an enemy, you grab the enemy, and when you successfully grab the enemy, you do the 2 flicks. And it's a throw, a wrestling move. Goichi Suda is a very big fan of wrestling. As you can probably guess, if you've played any of his games, he has that aesthetic. And when I interviewed him the first time for my book many years ago now, Goichi Suda was telling me about how he actually, before he got into video games, he wanted to be the editor of a pro wrestling magazine that was quite popular in Japan at the time. And that's really informed a lot of his aesthetic tastes. And you can certainly get that through pretty much all of his games. He always has the aesthetic that would appeal to people, I guess, that were fans of wrestling, and that sense of surreal and the over-the-topness and all that kind of stuff. So Anybody who's ever interested in knowing where Goichi Suda gets his ideas from, that's kind of the genesis of it. Okay, so we can charge up attacks here. Oops, pressing the wrong button. Why am I not... Hang on. I need to read the instructions. Perform a charge beat by holding and then releasing the B button. Okay. Holding. 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 Why am I not hitting? There we go. That's a hit. That's not a very useful attack. Wrestling's good though. And then you can down him. Go away. This one, nearly finished the tutorial, I believe. And now we can power up the charged. So there's also a power up with which hits a lot of enemies at all at once, which is useful, of course. Oh, my sword's run out of energy. Sometimes you have to run away from enemies to power the sword back up again, which is funny. Go away. This game is like riding a bike, it seems. It's pretty familiar. I do remember doing most of this stuff, and I remember this harder level too. I am playing on easy, of course. When you play on the higher difficulty levels, it does get a lot harder, I promise you. Goichi Suda does know how to challenge people, that is for sure. Okay, so we're finally done with the tutorial, so now we can go on with the actual leveling. And here we go. So the structure of the game is pretty much a brawler in terms of the way they construct the levels. You're moving through very linear levels, then they're quite small. Each area has, you know, you'll go through a bit of a corridor and then you'll have to beat down a number of enemies in a slightly larger area. And this is all kind of old school design. We don't see too many games like this anymore. They don't really do them that much. Okay, so door is open again, and now we can go down that way. But first, let's get ourselves some loot. If we go this way, there's a treasure chest. With cash. I feel like this game has aged pretty well, actually. Now that I'm playing it in motion, I'm seeing the action go. It is obviously an older game. Like, that's it's not really hiding that, but it is smooth. It plays nicely, and the actual combat is pretty cool. Cell shading means... I like cell shading. Cell shading gives games a timeless edge to them, and I think that for especially low definition games like on the case of the Wii, you kind of need the cell shading, because if you look at the games that tried to be realistic back on the Wii, they definitely have not held up anywhere near as well. That is for sure. loot. I have no idea what that was. The slot machine came in my favour, but I don't know what I actually needed to... What I needed to do there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh dear me. I'm getting hit everywhere. Duck! I didn't handle that one very well, did I? This encounter room was not... Oh, gun. What do I do with it? Shoot! Cool. Cool. Definitely a case of art direction over technical brilliance. Can't smash these things up. I should get my beam sword good and powered up. Okay, so I'll grab that little treasure there, whatever's in that. Some health. Get that. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Door open. Now I came in that way, so I guess I'm going this way next. I can't remember if this game is the one that starts throwing all kind of little baseball minigames and stuff into... Oh, already gone that way. Baseball minigames and stuff, because there was a... I can't remember if it's the second one or the first, but there was an awful lot of kind of kinetic things that they threw in just to add. Hey, go away. Came out of nowhere, those guys. It's a bit of a pity that this game released now, because obviously as an older game it's not going to turn too many heads, and a lot of people who maybe didn't experience it the first time because it was an older game maybe will miss it this time, because it's released right in the middle of a very busy time. There's an awful lot of excellent stuff that is either just out or coming out very soon. Trails of Cold Steel 4 just released. That is a brilliant bit of game. I've got a review of that up on DDNet. You can check that out. Excellent game. There's also the Yakuza game just around the corner, which I imagine that people who might have been interested in No More Heroes will probably also find the Yakuza game quite interesting. There is also the Hyrule Warriors title that's just around the corner, which is obviously a big deal because it's backed by Nintendo and stuff. So interesting time to release this, but it may well get an audience again over time as people play it. I should just shake the beam sword up. See if I can get to the boss, because the bosses are the really interesting part of No More Heroes. As with most Goichi Suda games, he has a way with boss battles which are particularly interesting. And this was one of the first ones that really established his reputation as a expert in boss battle design. Don't hurt anybody. I'll try not to. Hey, yay. Tough guy. Did I defeat everybody like I was told to? Yep. The Captain America sign there, telling me to move here. The shield. Checkpoint. So as you can see, very old school brawler style. Oh, I've got a bar treasure. I don't know what. Neat. I think that might be the ultimate bonus power that you can get because this one is just letting me slaughter the enemies. That was nice. Okay. Oh, still more enemies hanging around. Have to deal with them. Oh, I got it again. Free kills, free kills.
You think you can beat me with that?
Ah, you gotta press the right button. I just realized I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm wasting the power up. The tiger. I think there's a bit of a story behind that tiger there in the top right of the screen, which represents the time limit that you have with the power when you've activated it. I was mentioning earlier that Goichi Suda was a big fan of wrestling. His favourite wrestler was a really famous Japanese pro wrestler called Tiger Mask. So I think that's where the tiger motif comes from. It's, again, his interest in wrestling, pro wrestling. Very interesting fella. I've met Goichi Suda, I think, how many times have I met him? 4 or 5 times. And each time, he's just a fascinating interview. He's one of those guys that's just really easygoing with interviews. He actually answers questions rather than just, repeats talking points. And got to respect that. All the time in the world for Goichi Suda. I would have to say, off all the many interviews that I've done, Goichi Suda and probably Hidetaka Suehiro or Swery65 would be the two that are probably the most memorable for me. Really enjoyed interviewing both those men. I did meet Yoko Taro as well once, but they only gave me a very short time to interview him. Actually, there was another one, I can't remember his name now actually, but the director behind the Caligula Effect was a very interesting, very kind of deep thinking creator. It was a good hour they gave me too. Nipponichi was very kind to give me an hour with him and made the most of that. Most of the time when you get an interview you get 15 to 20 minutes with them, maybe half an hour, but yeah, I got an hour for that one and it was a great interview, really enjoyed it. I was really disappointed I couldn't go to Tokyo Game Show this year, because one of the reasons I do enjoy TGS is the interviews I get out of it. Suda is literally a deity. I think he is. He should put Let It Die onto the Switch as well. That was one of the few free-to-play games that I found really interesting and enjoyed. It has a real Saw-like grindhouse rogue-like thing going for it. It was really enjoyable, but I stopped playing it on the PS4. I'd like to give it a go on the Switch if they could do that. Might pull me away from Genshin Impact. I'm still playing Genshin Impact, which I know will annoy you, Diddy, but it's good. As far as gacha games go, that one is just too good not to enjoy. Cool, no subtitles. I have no idea what the conversation is now. Oh, see, I didn't know if because there's no subtitles, I have absolutely no idea. I can't hear anything. By gacha, the SSR is your soul. Yeah. I must admit I've actually spent money on Genshin Impact as well. I shouldn't say that because that makes me feel dirty, but I have. And I don't regret it. I got some good pulls out of it actually, so I was pretty happy about that. That's how they draw you in. No swimwear costumes just yet though. That's a bit disappointing. What's the point of a gacha game without swimsuits? Another trading card. Oops. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to get the treasure boxes first. Pizza for health max. Yes. Have you even looked at it? Have you even looked at oh, that's right. The save spots are toilets. Once again, Goichi Suda's humour coming through nice and clear there. He does like the juvenile jokes, so I better save. So have you actually played Genshin Impact at all, Diddy? I know it's not you're not a fan of supporting such games, but that one everybody's talking about, so you have? Cool. I like Mona too. Mona's very good. I agree with you. Right. Pick that up. I don't know what that is. Ah, it's a mask. Cool. See, another pro wrestling reference. This is the way we need to go. Hopefully it's a boss now. It'd be cool to show you a boss, because that's definitely where... Yep, it's boss time. That's definitely where this game, or this whole series really has its real appeal. Pretty nice place. Wouldn't mind living there myself, as long as I didn't have a guy with a lightsaber running through slashing up all my dudes. I would pretty much enjoy living there, I reckon.
You're the one leaving in a body bag.
I'll only say this once more. Leave here now.
Huh. Me leave? You obviously don't know me.
You don't get it.
Dude. Hey, you know what paradise is, right?
Paradise.
I like how Travis always has very otaku themed shirts and stuff that he always wears. He's actually a bit of a gaming nerd, he is. So he's got anime shirts and all that kind of stuff. He's definitely a loser, whereas all the other characters are just cool. And yeah, this game has a great sense of humor. Certainly not a for all ages sense of humor, but a very good sense of humor.
Arrogant, crude little shits like you come around from time to time. Listen well, number one. The wall is high, higher than you will ever know. Ultimate sacrifice is sublime.
That there is certainly a sword.
You can take that to your grave.
So obviously this is only the first boss, and it's really just there to test your skill, or to show that you've learnt the basics of the mechanics. Later boss battles really do become difficult in this series, really requiring you to know to really master every thing that the game has going for it.
On the weekends, it's knocking on my door every 2
But oops.
Everything is right.
No, there's 3 of them. Bloody hell. Goichi Suda's boss battle, his approaches to boss battles have always been quite similar in that he likes to do multi-stage boss battles. I think it's usually about three stages, and they obviously get progressively more difficult as you get through. Oh, I'm out of energy. Well, not what you want to happen right in the middle of a boss battle, but that's okay. This boss gives you plenty of time to do what you need to do. Ah, could have knocked him out there. Wrestling move him to death. Oops. Got him. And a lovely crimson spray of blood. You get the sense, I've never actually really spoken to Yoichi Suda about his cinema. There's a nice beheading right at the end there. His cinema influences, but you get the sense that he was probably influenced by Quentin Tarantino at least some level. There's a lot of aesthetic and thematic crossover between them. There we go. First level done. Let me get my treasure chest. Where are the foot shots? Okay, I'll give you that. He doesn't have the same obsession with feet. That is definitely true. Okay, I'll give you that. But other than that, he's Quentin Tarantino without the foot fetish. Twin Tails. Why is what bad? I have no idea what the plot's going. I'm going to have to replay this now. Oh, they've dissolved him. I'm going to have to replay this whole thing because I have no idea what the plot's doing. So this one, just so people know that I've got a moment to focus on something other than pressing buttons. This one is much more linear. The second No More Heroes has an open world in it as well, where you move between missions and whatever. That open world is quite bland and empty as a deliberate thing. It was kind of Goichi Suda having fun at open worlds at the time, but it does give it a non-linear edge as well. It's also a very good game, but I would say that this one has a it has a quality to it that I didn't think he quite captured in No More Heroes 2, and I'm certainly hoping he can capture it in No More Heroes 3 when that happens. So this is the rankings of the assassins. Because I just beat the 10th ranked one, I am now ranked 10th. So Travis has moved up from 11 to 10, and I've got to make my way up through to assassin number 1. Goichi Suda is also a very big fan of retro games, so he's always got some kind of retro game homage and aesthetic in there. In this case, he's doing a homage to old school leaderboards, which is pretty cool. And like I said, he's a bit of a otaku. He has anime figures in his house, and why wouldn't he? That shows that Travis has got some taste. It does. And that first level was just 35 minutes, so I can't remember if you actually do have to beat every single one of those assassins in No More Heroes 1. I know in No More Heroes 2 there was a lot of assassins you didn't have to beat. You start off at a very low ranking, and there was like a cutscene which just pushed you through a whole bunch of them. So I can't remember if the same is the case with No More Heroes 1. But either way, it's not a super short game by brawler standards. There's enough to it. See if we can get back into his lounge room so you can see his awesome figure collection. Yeah. No, you can't. Oh no, there we go. There's his figure collection there. It's not bad. Not enough Hatsune Miku in there, but it's not a bad figure collection. He's got a Nintendo 64 too. That's pretty cool. Old school in it. So while I was playing in that level, there were all these collectible cards that I could find. So let's have a look at what those look like. They're just masks at the moment, but those are little pickups that you can find in the levels. There's really not that much else to do. Oh, he's got a cat, I think. Yes, he has a cat. It's a cute little kitty. Can you pat the cat? That's the question. No, I don't think. Oh yeah, he does pat the cat. There you go. I don't think there's much else to do. So other than that, there's really, you just move on to the next level, and we'll do that now. So you go to the map, I believe. I think. Nope. Maybe the telephone. I'm guessing from memories of about a decade ago playing this game. Hey, you have the cat get into the room from there. Perhaps it was the map after all. Mission result. Nope. Oh, here we go. Here's the things that I can do, I guess. I think... Yeah, I'm a little bit lost because once again, trying to remember how to play this game from like a decade of last playing it. Maybe I'll just exit and it will take me to the next level. these were the days when video games didn't have massive open worlds and stuff. Maybe this one does have an open world. Maybe it does. Maybe this one actually has an open world too and I just don't remember. That wouldn't surprise me. Oh, come on. There's a car in the way. Maybe that's the whole open world. I can just drive around the... I can just drive around the car park here. Let's get off. Maybe I just need to go into here. And they'll take me to my next mission. Yep. But it is possible that this... Oh, Twin Towers now has opened her shirt up. It is possible that this game does have an open world in it and I don't remember it. I definitely remember the second one having the open world thing, but yeah. Perhaps this one does as too. I'm not quite sure why she's just left the shirt unbuttoned, because in the previous scene we saw that she could. Maybe she's just relaxed. Yeah, I know, there's no subtitles. I have no idea what's actually going on with this plot and I don't remember it that clearly. So, yeah, I don't know if there is subtitles. There might be. I'll try and check out. I'll try and put up a menu that might explain it. Let's see, shall we? Menu, config. There is subtitles, they're just off by default. That's terrible. Game developers, please make subtitles default. And if people don't want them, they can turn them off. Okay. So I need to prove myself. I need to go to the job center. So this game does have the open world. There we go. I got it wrong. I thought it was only the second one. But there is an open world here. It's a very dull open world. It doesn't do anything. But that is the humour of the thing. It's actually kind of making fun of the whole open world tradition. See, as you can see, there's really not much around. There's one dude. Can't really do anything with him. It's like GTA, but deliberately bad. There we go. I can take on a job here. You got to work hard to become a first rater. There we go. If you have a go, you get a go. That's an Australian joke for people who are not Australian. Listen to this stream. Don't worry about that. But it's very funny to Australians. Collecting coconuts. That's my job. Take the job. Let's collect some coconuts. Have I considered? I don't know. I consider lots of things, Diddy. Where's the coconuts? Over there. There's my buck. If you did a good job, you'd have a better job. Yeah, that's true. It just amazes me that nobody actually checks with him that he should be saying these things. Like, there's just no effort in checking the sensitivity of some of these statements. Anyway. We need to find coconuts. Coconuts are worth more than human life. Fair enough. Coconuts are good, so collect them now. Alright, so this is a little mini game that we've got to play, where we've got to collect these coconuts. There's one. We collect it. And we deliver it. Mind you, these games get, or this game, the No More Heroes series, gets its fair share of criticism for these mini games and stuff. But you think about it, they're no different. They're no less nutty than the Yakuza series games. So you deal with it. This stuff goes away soon enough and it gets back to its hyperviolence. Number 3. Delivering coconuts like a pro. Let's grab some over this way if we can. There we go. Oh, 2. It's going to be heavy now. Am I close to finishing flowers? I am getting closer. I think I'm about 3 hours in now. I must have been a bit leisurely in terms of my pace. But you said it was a fairly short visual novel. I haven't played it in the last week because I haven't been well. But I'm getting there. I reckon I'll probably be finished it within a week. I've got some time this weekend. Between my other games, like I said, I have a bunch of games to play, but I haven't got a visual novel, so I'll probably find time for that in between what I'm doing elsewhere. There's a bit of a downtime thing. There's 2 coconuts here. I'm going to grab those 2. Going for the big haul. 3. Huge. Loot. And this one. Let's grab this one. Can I grab 3 in a row? Yes. He's waddling now. 3 coconuts are a bit heavy apparently. I am enjoying Flowers. I think it's a very pretty game. Very lovely little Yuri. So I do thank you for recommending it to me, and I'm quite happy that I'm playing it actually. So yeah, I probably would have overlooked it because it was PC only, were it not for your recommendation. I've got time for one more coconut, I hope. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. 2, 1. Oh, 1 second to go. Last coconut. 11. Delivered. 22,000 cash. I think that's fair enough. Oh yeah, I'm sure Kudan won't get a port. I will have to download that on PC as well. I'm getting over my aversion to playing visual novels on PC. Because I had to do robotic notes on PC as well, so... Ooh, a shady task this time. Okay. Have to do as he says. Oh, there we go. I am now able to take on an assassination mission. So... Oh no, I can get around. I have used DL's. I don't think I've downloaded anything of DL's site before. I think I was looking at Miku software or Vocaloid software on there at some point. I don't have a problem with getting my way around Japanese sites to navigate them, so that's no deal. That's no issue for me. It's all good. Oops. I'm heading back to my little home. Here we go. You can tell where your home is because it has that big, big flag there. It's quite handy. Running up the stairs. Like I said, I've been around DLC site before, DL site before. At the very least, I've used it for Miku stuff, so... Where's the toilet? I want to save. Here we go, toilet. Alright, so I think that's pretty much everything I've got to show right now for this one. I've got a jet, I've got a skedaddle. Thank you very much everybody for tuning in. I know it's been 2 weeks since I last did a stream, but I'm back now. I'll do them again frequently. Have a great weekend playing lots of video games. This will give you a sense of what to expect from No More Heroes. The bulk of the game is the action stuff that I played at the start. You're running through a level, then you get to a boss, you fight the boss and whatever, and then you've got a little bit of downtime in the open world bit, which is not the most engaging bit, but that's deliberately so. It's all part of the humour, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, play it if you get a chance. No More Heroes 3 is on its way, and you'll probably want to play the first two to get yourself prepared for that. Have a great weekend playing video games and other stuff, and we will see you next week.